Hello, welcome back. May is over, so it's time to wrap up all the books I read in the month. I know last month I said, don't worry, May is coming and May's the month I always read the most. But that didn't happen. In my defense though, I did tackle 2 books that I have been putting off. So I think that's why I forced myself to read them. Otherwise, who knows if they were ever going to get finished. I also went to New York this month for a couple days, so I wasn't able to read as much as I wanted then. I wanted to read more on the plane, but I get a little nauseous when I do that, so I had to stop. One thing I did say last month that I stuck true to is that May is my Emily Henry month. This month I read not 1, but 2 Emily Henry books. So far I have read all of them except the newest one because I refuse to buy it in hardcover when all the other ones I have are paperback. So I will read that one next year. But let's start off with Happy Place. Thank you, Queen Emily Henry. You always come and save me from my reading slumps when I need you. Whenever we needed her the most, she's always right there. Basic plot overview is Harriet is traveling with her friend group, a vacation they do every year. And in that friend group is also her said ex, Win. And they don't want to tell their friends they're not together anymore right now. So they're fake dating to act like they haven't broken up. It's a second chance romance. That's essentially everything you need to know plot-wise about this. Usually, I'm not a fan of second chance romances. Win's stupid heart. I just liked Win so much. I liked it. Is Win my favorite Emily Henry love interest now? Possibly. I don't even think I could name the other ones. Right, okay, I know the first one is Gus, and I only know that because they both have month names. Because who the fuck names their kid January? There's Gus, and I think People We Meet on Vacation is Alex, but that is my least favorite. I do not like it. I'm mad that that's the one being turned into a movie. And I could not tell you, if you held a gun up to my head, what book lovers this man's name is. I don't even know if I know what her name is. So, welcome Win. You're my favorite Emily Henry love interest. I do need Harriet to get out of my brain. She needs to move out unless she is going to start paying rent. There were so many sections of here that I highlighted that I was just like, ooh, where did you get that? Because I think you're in my notes app. Rip to my Midwest locations. Emily Henry, why did you have to have it set in Maine? In my mind, every book takes place in Michigan because I say so. However, when you can be my favorite, we need to talk about there is no way in hell that Win's Montana rural ass, his name is not Wyndham. What in the Connecticut country club private school bullshit is that? His name is not Wyndham. I would more have, if you told me his name was Wind, W-I-N-D, I would have more believed that than Wyndham. His name is Win. His name is not Wyndham. Don't piss me off. What the hell do you mean? Moving on, I would like to announce that war is over. I finally finished I'm a Fan. Holy shit. This book took me 3 months to read. And you want to know what's crazier? Look how big it is.
So you think I was kidding?
This bitch is less than 200 pages. No, just over 200 pages. And it was like I was pulling my teeth out to read it. If you liked My Year of Rest and Relaxation, you'll love this book. I didn't like My Year of Rest and Relaxation. I'm learning that there's a genre I just can't. It's the girls that are just different for the sake of being different because they're trying to be real, but it comes off to me personally as so forced. Like, My Year of Rest and Relaxation, I was like, yeah, she's depressed, but she's a bitch and I hate her, you know? So if that is your kind of vibe, you'll like this one. Everyone's a cheater. Everyone's cheating on everyone. I was just so uninterested in this plot, but I wanted to be done with it. So like this took me so long to read. And I think part of that is because when I read the back, in my mind, this was more going to be a take on fandom culture. Like she was going to be in love with a celebrity or something, like a stalker kind of vibe, which like she is. But when you do it to just a random man, where's the whimsy? Obviously don't stalk celebrities either. But like for a plot, if he's fictional, go ahead. He was just a man. There was nothing special about him. I more so was interested in his ex / the other girl he was also cheating on his wife with. It's complicated. I told you, everyone's cheating on everyone. The one who was more of an influencer, I was more interested about that. She was stalking her, but like at least be in love with her. You are in love with her. We need to talk about that. She was in love with her. Sometimes there'd be these like critiques about classism, racism, cultural appropriation, feminism, which like were all valid, but because they were just thrown in here, it was kind of weird. It was like, I think both parts worked, but they didn't work together. I also was not a fan of the writing style. Some chapters were just one paragraph that went on for pages. That's not okay. That's not, no. If I don't read that in a fan fiction, I don't want to read it in a published book, okay? I'm going to introduce you to my friend, the Enter Key. Big fan though. Big fan of the chapters that were like a paragraph. Loved that. Takeaway, men ain't shit. Don't frame your life around a man. He's definitely not worth it. I started this in March. Moving on. Funny story. This one is weird. I rated it 4 stars, but it's between a 3.5 and a 4 for me. I gave People We Met on Vacation a 3.5, and I liked this better than People We Met on than Vacation. Why is that name so long? But it just didn't really draw me in like Happy Place or Book Lovers did. But at least we're back in Michigan. Her name's Daphne. I couldn't have told you that unless it was staring at me on the back of the cover. I felt like there were a lot of things just being thrown at the wall. Like I felt like every trope and every plot point was happening. But then when it came time to resolve them at the end, they didn't really get resolved that well to me. They were all just addressed really quickly and solved, but it felt like they didn't really hold much actual weight. We spend the whole book leading up to this library event, and then the library event happens and I was like, oh, that was it? Like literally every chapter is like a countdown to that day. And then when it actually came, it was just like not unsatisfying, but I was just like, oh, if you're gonna have this trope be fake dating, have them fake date. They only went on like one fake date. It just didn't give me any of the satisfaction that fake dating is supposed to give me. Why the fuck were these bitches fake dating more than these bitches? I know a lot of people love Miles. I know he's like the favorite love interest. I also saw a lot of people say he gave them some character from New Girl vibes. I'm not a New Girl person, so I didn't care. Also, why is he wearing Crocs? I know, he works in the food service industry. He works at a bougie-ass winery in Michigan. If he's wearing Crocs, they would be black. They would not be yellow. I am also not a Croc person. So this book just had a lot of things going against it from the start. One thing that was getting me through this book was every time they mentioned Petoskey fries. I need to eat them right now. I've been craving them ever since. Need that. Thank you, Emily Henry. I will see you next year when Great Big Beautiful World is in paperback. I also have issues with that because that name also doesn't match. People We Meet on Vacation in Great Beautiful Big Wide World, that's like that PBS show. Those names don't match. These other ones are all 2 words and those ones aren't, and it kind of makes me mad. Also, the cover doesn't match. This one also borderline. That spine doesn't match. I know nothing about that one. So the last book I read, I started on the plane. I started reading The Crucible, and that is because while I was in New York, I went to see John Proctor's The Villain, which is about a class that is reading The Crucible. And I hadn't read The Crucible since 9th grade, 10th grade. So I was like, I might need a refresher. So I reread it. Again, not a whole lot of thoughts. It's a play. It's about the witch trials. If you haven't read it, how old are you? This play centers a lot around the actions of women, but there actually are not that many women in the play. We see like a few of them, but most of them are only in a scene, maybe 2, and they have like 3 lines. It's the 50s, I guess. I could go on a whole rant about the treatment and characterization of Abigail. Maybe this is just because I saw John Proctor as a villain, but how we hail John Proctor as the great character he is and like shit on Abigail Williams. Did she get a lot of people in her town killed? Yeah. Can a girl have hobbies anymore? Like, is a girl not allowed to lie? Is a girl not allowed to have fun? Is a girl not allowed to dance naked in the woods and try to do witchcraft? God forbid. They all just blame her. And it's like, hey, she's 17. You slept with her. You cheated on your wife with her. Why are you calling her a whore? You're a whore. Yeah, she's 17. Times were different. But she is always grouped with the girls, with the children in the play. She's never grouped with the adults. She's always, like, grouped with the children. So maybe you shouldn't have done what you did to her. I do blame her for trying to kill your wife. She should have tried to kill you. Which, hey, spoiler alert, she was successful in that. Your wife lived, you died. That being said, Giles Corey is kind of a baddie. What do you mean his last words were more weight? Icon. These were all the books I read in May. These are the reasons why I'm reading a little less. This big book and this tiny book. I will see you next month. Let me know what you read this month, what your favorite book was. Let me know what your favorite Emily Henry book is and what your favorite Emily Henry love interest is, because some people, from one picture I saw, they're sleeping on Wynne. I'll see you next month. Bye!